Good morning. Welcome. I see hearts. Welcome to our Mandala universes. We gather at this channel every single day for a half an hour. And we do some grounding, some reading, some drawing. And I'm very glad you're here. My name is Amy. So far we've got Meta and Miss M and Pamela and Deb. Miss M says, perfect start to our day, Amy. Today is Sunday, January 20-something. And I'm sending you all a big hug. So is Miss M. It's a hard world to live in sometimes. But I think spaces and communities like this can make it better. So we have a morning fire this morning for us all to ground with the ocean in the background, and I think some peace and some calm energy is welcome. This, I think, is a fire left over from last night, but I will take it. The heat is just radiating off of it, and it feels lovely in this crisp morning air. Sa says, thank you, Amy. Grateful for you all. Yeah, grateful for you all and all of the work that you do in making this a peaceful world. A world that we want to live in. So, how are people checking in today? I'm checking in really sad. I'm on the verge of tears all morning. It's the world. Namely our country right now, but I had such a wonderful day yesterday with Pamela and friends, and I look at the news and that's what it is, so I'm feeling sad. Let's see. Carol is here, and she says, good morning, where are you, Amy? I am at Bolsa Chica State Park, which is on the Southern California coasts, kind of south of Long Beach in Orange County. And Sherilyn says, oh, Amy, lovely to hear your voice. Lovely to see your name pop up. And Meta says, in the perfect circle around the fire. Yeah, I mean, here, I'll show you my circle. Look at this lovely fire. Meta says, sorry to hear, Amy. Thanks, Meta. Sherilyn says, the world is very heavy. Miss M says, waves of disbelief, anger, sadness, awe, joy, and love. And Meta does agree that there are many reasons to feel sad. And Deb says she is honestly frightened today. Carol is sending me a hug, feeling my sadness too. Thankful for all of you. Michelina says, we're going through a very hard journey as a country right now. It's good to feel sad about what is happening. You have a loving heart. So I spent a bit of time reading this morning, looking for a reading this morning. Let's see. Hi. I'm gonna set my phone down. Ooh, my tea mug is hot. I'll turn the camera around again towards the water and the fire, but for now, you get to see me. And let's see. I don't even need this hat. It's so hot by the fire. Yeah, so I spent some time reading about trying to find something appropriate to share with the group, and I did find something, so I'm excited to share it with you all. Meta says, I'm checking in relaxed and peaceful after a restful Sunday walk in the snow. Meta, I'm glad that you got some snow and that you've had a relaxing day. Claudia says, good morning, everyone. Relaxing or joining from bed. And Meta is joining from the bathtub. Now that sounds pretty dreamy. I love a good bath. So enjoy it, Meta. Oh, shit. Sorry. I am burning my art supplies basket. Well, I will forever be reminded of this beautiful fire on this beach on a crisp morning. Good thing it's wool and it didn't go up in flames like plastic would have. Okay. Sherilyn says, oh no. Kathy says, good morning. Meta says, thanks. And Michelina says, a really cool road scar. Exactly. So, don't sit too close to the fire is the lesson that I'm learning. And yeah. So, I want us all to just take a breath, take a moment, find how you're feeling. If you share, I will read. If you're uncertain, that's okay too. Sometimes it's really hard for me to pinpoint my feelings. But this is a practice. Some days will be easier than others. We're not masters at anything. We are students. Okay. Miss M says it looks like a marshmallow. Yeah. I'm a little worried. Pamela says, checking in snugly warm with Kirby on my lap, missing you at the house. And Meta says, that sounds perfect. So, there's a website called the Poetry Foundation, and they post a lot of poems. It's a good resource for that, but they also do some writings about collections of poems. And there were these 5 poets in a backyard in Portland that wanted to create a peace shelf. So they were thinking about what poems would go on this peace shelf. And they decided that, you know, when they looked at all their poems, there was essentially 3 themes. There were, and they were sorrows, resistance, and alternative visions. Sorrows are to witness and chronicle the horrors of war. Resistance is resistance and find models of resistance. And alternative visions are to imagine and build a better world. So I thought here at our Mandala Universe today we could focus on the latter of those and imagine what a better world looks like, and what better song to help us with that is Imagine by John Lennon. So I wrote down the lyrics and I'm just going to read them for you. I'm not going to sing them because I'm way off on my melodies. But sing along in your head as I read them. And I'm just going to let that be our grounding today. I'll turn the camera around again so you can just look into the fire, or maybe take a soft gaze in your own space. But find some grounding and breathe in and breathe out, knowing that your body can do this. And it's also got the collective support of everybody. You don't have to do it alone. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine those no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Yoo-hoo, yoo-hoo. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. Yoo-hoo. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one. Just keep breathing. Breathing in and out. And when you're ready, I invite you to move to the drawing portion of mandalas if you feel like drawing today. Here are some samples of mine from the previous couple of days. We draw a circle and we fill it with what we're feeling or what we're seeing. And we do it every day. And it is just a really wonderful grounding practice. It's not a place to judge, but it's a place to witness. I'm getting sand in my mouth. I'm not sure how that's happening. Carol says, how timeless those words are. Thank you for reminding us by sharing them. Yeah, and I think for our, I'll try to make a post, and a lot of songs are in the Instagram, I don't know, abilities. So I'll see if we can do that. But if not, go listen to the song and watch the video that goes along with it. It is so sincere and timeless, like Carol said. Meta says, such a brilliant lyric. Claudia says, listening to healing frequencies, music to calm the nervous system and mind after looking at too many upsetting images last night. I have to reset the algorithm to nature and kindness. Yeah, I think that's really wise. I think it's important for us to know, to be informed, but I think it's important to not dwell and exist in sorrow. We need it, but we can't exist there forever. And if you can go out in nature, that's great, because nature is truly healing. I'm gonna have a hard time drawing today because I was gonna set my basket up here to lean my phone on it, but now I'm not gonna do that. Pamela says you are experiencing all the elements. Yeah, we've got wind, fire, water, and earth. We are whole, we are complete, and we've got sunshine. Claudia says, I was with my elder group last night who protested the Vietnam War. They have lived through so many uncertain times. Unfortunately, war and violence seems to be a constant, as does peace and love. There are people always seeking that and existing in that space as well. Someone corrected or filled in the date, and it was the 25th. So, January 25th of 26. I drew a very large circle today. My circle has to hold a lot. Miss M says, witnessing the best and worst of people is exhausting sometimes. And Claudia says dogs should run the world. We'd be a very curious, non-judgmental place if dogs ran the world, wouldn't we? And Michelina says my circle fell off the edge. That sounds like poetry to me. I'm gonna write it down because I like it. Flip the camera for a minute. We've got surfers heading out for their morning surf, their morning time colliding with nature. There's not nearly as many surfers here as the last time I led from Manhattan Beach. Sherilyn says, sitting watching tiny snowflakes shake down, covering moped alliums. Moped alliums. Imagine peace. That's a beautiful vision out your window, Sherilyn, even though I botched it. And Carol says, yes, Claudia. Worst that would happen would be that we all lingered too long smelling another's butt. Sounds harmless. I'm all for it, Claudia. Carol, you're getting laughs for that one. Pamela asks, what were the 3 categories of peace poems? And welcome, Cheryl. So, yeah, these 5 poets gathered in a backyard wanted to create the peace shelf of poetry that contained poems for peace. The first category of poems were sorrows, poems that witnessed and chronicled the horrors of war. The second category were resistance poems, poems that resist and find models of resistance. And the third were alternative visions, poems that imagine and build a better world. I imagine there's some poems that dabble in all 3. Hi, Cheryl. Cheryl, I don't know when you joined, but we're happy you're here, and to put some music in your mind for the day, I read the lyrics of Imagine by John Lennon. So if you need alternative visions of peace today, just sing that song. Cheryl says, hello, lovely friends. Michelina says, my words, so much to hold together. Yeah. We are definitely social beings. We don't always act like it. We think we can do everything on our own. We pride ourselves on our independence, but our communities are so important. And we can hold each other up and lift each other up and hold ourselves and others more accountable as well. We need to recognize when our community is not doing what it's supposed to be doing and work towards changing that to strengthen community, to keep community alive. Cheryl says, definitely in need of the vision. Thank you. And Meta says, you all give me faith in the American people. We're honored by that, Meta. There's a lot of bad people. I don't know if people are bad or they do bad things, but there's a lot of good in the world too. Ms. M says, I have no words, I have no drawing, at least I have this circle. There's not a lot of drawing in my circle either at the moment. Pamela says, those 3 realms of sorrow, resistance, and alternative visions truly are work to move through all of these as we influence our world by living from our hearts. Yeah, I think they're all such crucial parts to change. Meta says, imagine heaven on earth are my words today. Leticia is here and says, good morning, lovelies. Good morning, Leticia. Welcome, to our group hug today, Leticia. Thank you for being here. Leticia says, sending love to you all. Appreciate the reminder that we can be each other's anchor. Yeah, that's a really important message, reminder. We don't have to do this alone. We have to do it together. And we're all there as we all ebb and flow through the process of this work that life is. Maybe with the last 2 minutes, I'll read the lyrics from John Lennon's Imagine one more time. And I'll turn you to this ring of fire and the ocean and the sky, which I think is such a place for dreamers. I mean, this is the third man that has just come and stood right here to look at the ocean. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, a brotherhood of men. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one. Breathing in and out as we close our practice today. Thank you all for being there, for me, for each other, and for the world. Carol says, sending love and hugs to each and every one of you. You keep me sane. Ms. M says, I have 2 minutes to tell you I love you. Well, I'm going over to tell you all that I love you. Kathy says, so grateful for this circle. Ms. M says, thanks, Amy. Hugs, friends. Deb is sending hugs. Leticia says, thank you. Alicia says, thank you for reading that. We need that sentiment. Leticia says, I love you all. Lots of thank you. Lots of sending love. Michelina says, I love you all. Meta says, sending my love. And Zaha says, love, love, love. Love, love, love. With that, I'm going to give you a big one-armed hug. And wish you all well. Pamela says, thank you for the realness today. Love, love, love to you all.